Hello, my name is Savvy Wise, and this is Lab 4. First question, find D1. So, using the equation we have here, let me put my red clicker on. Can you see that? Hold on, there we go. So, using the equation, this is the natural log, and this is the stock price, this is the exercise price, this is the risk-free rate, the dividend yield, half of the standard deviation squared, this is time square rooted, and then standard deviation. Here below you can see all of that, so we took the stock price divided by this exercise price. We're going to commute everything in here first, so how I did it was I first took the standard deviation and squared it, and then I multiplied that by half, and then I left that to a side so you get an answer. Once I calculated this, I added those two together, left this in this box untouched, times 1, obviously no change. Then I would add that to what I calculated here, and then divide it by the square roots. So obviously the square root of 1 is 1, and that has no change, so you divide everything that's in here by the standard deviation, and you should get 0.4762. So I referred back to the Excel evaluation template to double check my answers, and this is what I calculated using that. So this is what I calculated by hand, and then obviously I plugged into my variables onto this template, which spat out this. Now, originally I was going to use the classroom sheet that was uploaded by the professor, but when I went to search up for the ND1, I was not able to find an answer that matched this. So I felt like the Excel's answers was more accurate, and that's the one I'm going with. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But I got 0.6830. Next one, find D2. So all it is D1 minus the standard deviation, square root of 1. And this will get you 0.2149, which then you would plug in using the paper, but like I said, I used Excel because it felt more accurate, and the numbers didn't match up when compared to paper. This just felt more right, so I calculated 0.5851. For the put value, I used this equation and plugged in the variables. So here, this is the exercise price, this is exponential, then you see the risk-free rate times the time. Then you have n negative D2. Then you have minus the stock price. Oh wait, right? Let me double check. Yeah, minus the stock price, exponential. This would be that little wonky number. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. That would be the dividend yield times this n negative D1. After plugging all those answers, oh, and I feel like it's important to mention that first you would calculate this you would calculate this risk-free rate times this one. So if it was a different number, if it was a different type of variable, it would be different, but you would multiply this first, and then on your calculator you would hit second, and then the natural log function, which will give you this exponential, and then you'll get your answer times this 100. So that's how you would calculate that. You break down using the PEMDAS method, which is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And if you just follow that, you should get your correct answer of 6.4430. Of course, I also referred it back to my evaluation sheet, Excel evaluation sheet, which gives you a more accurate number, but I also did get this on paper. Okay, call value. So this is the equation we use for call value. The only difference is the D1 is in front now, and there's no negatives, you see? So this is the stock price, this is exponential, the dividend yield. The first D1, which is here, the second D1, which is there. This X right here is the exercise price, obviously times the exponential risk-free rate times 1 year. So here we go, here we have it here. The only thing I forgot to mention in this equation was that this 3 times that 1, which it makes no difference, so it doesn't matter. And then here's the rest of that. And you should, after correctly calculating on paper and using the Excel function, you should get 15.39. That's what I got. No rounding. Yeah, I think because the exam, the questions ask you to round to the nearest 2 decimal places. So obviously I entered 1540 instead of 1539. Hold on 1 second. Okay, question 5, Walmart expiration date. So I don't think it lets me click on this, but using this, I was able to search up Walmart. I clicked options, and then I searched. I changed this to the nearest date from a year from now, and this, that's the date it popped up. It expires. Question 6, how much stock be using the put call parity equation? Here it is. We just plugged in the variables. So I should have listed the variables here, but here is the exercise price. Oh no, this is the exercise price, and this is what you would buy the stock for. I do have a piece of paper. Let me pull it up. Okay, sorry about that. So this is the trading price. This is what you calculate using the Black-Scholes equation or any other equation that you would prefer using. And since both the call and the put had the same price, expiration price, we just kept that the same. So here, C is obviously for call. This is the call information, 18.73, and then you have here, since we're solving for S, obviously you subtract P. We have this minus 5.92, which is the trade price for the put. And then here is the risk-free rate that we add here. So, 1 plus this, you would solve that. Then you would square it. Then you would put the power of this exponent. You get your answer that way. After that, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, but your answer should be 15.12. Here, I did this on paper and I calculated the exact same answer. Usually, so after solving for this, I think I'm going to just be more detailed here. After solving for this, I divided 150 into this number, which just 1 plus 0.054, which gives you 1.054 literally. So after you get that, you'll get a big number, so it'll be like 142, and then you just, oh, I'm missing a step, guys, sorry. So once I calculate this, then I subtract it from this number, then I would add it back to this number, or vice versa. So I think I'm mixing myself up because my equation, my little notes are not too detailed. Right. Okay, so sorry, one more time. Let me backtrack. I calculated this, then I added it. Sorry, y'all. See, I'm going back on my PEMDAS ways. Okay, so I added it, then I subtracted it, and I got the correct answer, 155.12. Sorry about that. Question 7, risk-free rates. So we wanted to find 228.25. There was a plethora of answers, multiple choice questions, and since one of the multiple choice questions was 4.08, that was the correct answer, and that's what I'm assuming is the correct answer, especially because here underneath the 1 year column, and then I changed the date to meet the question's needs. This should be the correct answer. Screening criteria. So I quite didn't understand this equation. This question. So I used Yahoo Finance as well after the fact that I invested into two options, one of which was Google. So here I use OptionStrat, and from my understanding, OptionStrat gives you a list, like a kind of chart of which is doing good, which is in green. I invested based off of that and off of my calculations using the Black-Scholes method. That's the end of the video. Thank you for listening.